Welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trust attack over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with none other than the less than stealthy unicorn himself, the only person that'll make you afraid of your own reflection. Don't say his name multiple times in the mirror, because he will assassinate you for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, the demon assassin ScooterRay.
You know what I'm saying? What's up to all the hivelings out there? You know what I'm saying? What's happening? You know, we gotta, keep it a little simple. Not go too overboard with it.
Never that.
Gotta say what's up to the hivelings out there.
Speaking of hivelings, ladies of the IWC that work as a hive mind, I know you don't see the heartthrob himself. That's because he is incapacitated at the moment, buried under some mountain of women somewhere within the city.
I mean, that's a very thing for him to do.
Yeah, we sent out the bat signal, so he may climb his way out of the pile of women that he's buried under. But
all those DMs and women, and that's a very busy man.
True, and if he doesn't show up, it's okay, because we know for a fact that him and Loki both send their love.
Yes.
So, shout out to Mr. Jaeger Bombastic, so fantastic that the only reason that he couldn't be back is because that pile of women got him under all types of attacks. That's a fact.
So I'm pretty sure it's plenty Gatorade, Powerade, Pedialyte,
IV drips,
all of that, all of that. So, yeah.
But Scoot,
what up?
Question is, do we have any scoops AEW related?
We got scoops just wrestling related, period.
Oh, I'm always down with the universal scoops.
I'm gonna give you some options. We can either go the Impact route with Bound for Glory.
Okay.
We can do some WWE stuff, or we can do some AEW. What you want first, good sir?
You know what? Let's go with Impact.
All right. So Bound for Glory was last night.
Mm-hmm.
To give a quick little recap, it was definitely worth watching. It was long, but it was worth watching. The pre-show was a 6-person for the, what was it called? The Digital Media Championship. And Jordan Grace
title.
Yeah. I think it's something halfway Cardona introduced. But I know Jordan Grace won. So she's the first ever digital media champion. Let me make sure I am calling that title correctly, because I do want to give it its proper respect that it is called that. So, yes, the Impact Digital Media Champion. Haha. All right. So that happened. Then the opening match was Rosemary, the Inspiration, and Jessica Havoc, also known as Decay, put up the women's tag team titles against the Inspiration, who debuted, which is Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee.
Indeed.
Of course, in grand fashion, Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee won. So they are now the new Impact Tag Team Champions.
Definitely don't agree with that.
Huh?
Yeah, definitely don't agree with that decision.
I don't, for the simple fact of they were debuting and Havoc and Rosemary was holding it down. So I don't think they should have debuted to a title shot, then let alone won.
Yeah.
But, we know how it go. Then we had a triple threat match for the X Division title. We had El Phantasmo of the Bullet Club, Trey Miguel, and Steve Macklin, formerly known as Steve Cutler from WWE, The Forgotten Sons.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Miguel won that, so he is now your new X Division champion. Then you had Violent by Design, which is Eric Young, Joe Doring, and I forgot his name, the third member. But Joe Doring and Eric Young were the members fighting against Heath Slater and a partner of his choice, and the partner ended up being Rhino, because Rhino was excommunicado from Violent by Design. And so Rhino and Heath Slater reunited again, or should I say Heath Miller? I think that's his name technically. Next we had the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Now, from my understanding, I think it was 20 individuals between men and women, and it's one big gauntlet battle royal where two people will start, and I think every minute or 2 minutes a new participant comes out. You get thrown over the top rope, you're eliminated, and then the last two people actually have a one-on-one match.
Yeah,
and it's basically
the
their
one
money.
thing.
Yeah, it is, and it's basically their money in the bank. A lot of people was in it, but the end of it was Moose and I want to say Sabin. I think it was Moose and Chris Sabin, but Moose ended up winning.
Okay.
But and then you had, I'm sorry, Cardona. It was Moose and Cardona. And Moose
Hold
beat
on,
Cardona.
wait, because it looks like Jaeger Klein from out of the pile of women.
Look at the hair, all that.
Man, all of this. But no, I'm just trying to climb out this pile of laundry. But
Hey, you know what? Hey, innuendos all day. Because I mean, there could be some kiddos watching that don't know what he really climbed from under. But hey,
that is true. This is true.
I mean, don't look in this door is all I'm gonna say.
But Moose beat Cardona, and he won the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. So of course, at any time, Moose can challenge for the World Championship. You know that how that goes. Next, it was the Impact Tag Team titles against it was the Good Brothers defending against Finn Juice and the Bullet Club's Chris Bay and Hikuleo. The Good Brothers retained.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Deonna Purrazzo defending her title against Mickie James. Mickie James pulled out that W, and we have a new Impact Women's Champion.
I didn't know how to feel about that.
It was no problem a pretty good match. And, they built Deonna Purrazzo up enough that somebody epic and or legendary had to beat her. And why not let it be Mickie? Especially because her and Mickie been having like beef. Well, not, wrestling beef, but yeah. Deonna showed up at Mickie James' house and they fought in her barn and everything. So, yeah. So why not go ahead and give it to Mickie? Awesome Kong had her Hall of Fame speech at the show. Then, of course, we get to the world title match, Christian Cage versus Josh Alexander, formerly of the North. As we said before, he traded in his X Division title for option C. So he was going against Christian for that championship. And Josh Alexander beat Christian Cage.
So we thought.
Huh?
I said, or so we thought.
Well, he did win. And, his wife and son was in the ring. And Moose decided to call his shot.
Mm-hmm.
And while wife and son was still in the ring, Moose went ahead and handled Josh Alexander. So, and new world champion, Moose.
Yeah.
Like somebody put on Twitter, I don't know what's more heelish. Lashley putting the hurt lock on Goldberg's son or Moose beating Josh Alexander in front of his family while they were still in the ring. But yeah, so the show ended with Moose being world champion, deservedly so, because I felt with Kenny Omega and that Impact World title thing, Moose kind of got screwed out of that. Because Moose was kind of being next up, so I'm glad that they went ahead and put the belt on him.
Yeah.
Now, with Impact, apparently the partnership between Impact and AEW is supposed to end after Bound for Glory. So we don't know if Good Brothers and Don Callis and all of that is going to still show up on AEW.
Well, part of that would make sense as to why Christian lost, if that's the case.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that makes sense why Christian lost now. He's the only AEW representative there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, if that's the case, that part kind of sucks, and I think it doesn't suck on the men's side. I think it sucks more for the women's portion of that, because I think there's a lot that they could have done if it is in fact over.
Do nothing.
Yeah, no, they definitely haven't done anything as far as like from the women's perspective with Impact, but I think there's a missed opportunity if they are completely done and haven't done anything with it. So
yeah,
but yeah, but I'm not mad at Bound for Glory. I'd heard some of the recap on it previously, so I knew what happened. I'll have to go back and actually watch it because a lot of things that I heard on the recap interest me a lot. So
it actually wasn't a bad pay-per-view. It was the fact that they respected AEW, so it came on after Dynamite. So now it's staying up from 9. I think it ended like in midnight.
Oh geez.
Yeah. So trying to watch that pay-per-view after you just watched Dynamite, it was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
5 hours wrestling there.
Y'all,
hey, can y'all hear me all right, by the way?
Stressing it today.
What's that?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Like new headset. Just checking it out.
All right. So, moving along, let's get into some spiciness with WWE. So, Ryback, our favorite wrestler who's still trying to find a company. He tweeted.
I like how you put that, trying to find a company.
He tweeted, "Hey, Vince McMahon, you can give Mansoor Steve Austin's music and he still won't be over. Holy shit, your product fucking sucks." So
yeah, that's gonna get you hired.
So Mansoor decided to retweet Ryback's poll of 72% of the people saying he should retire, and just left it at that. So Mansoor wasn't going back down from old Ryback.
And this is how we get Ryback showing up at WWE.
I'm out. I
would be out so quick.
All right. Now let's get to the spiciness that happened Friday night on SmackDown. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch was supposed to have a title exchange in the ring. It led to another shoot moment, of course, involving Charlotte Flair. When Charlotte was supposed to hand her belt over, she just dropped it to the floor. And that prompted Sonya Deville telling Charlotte, "Pick that up." She picks it up. She hands her belt to Sonya. And then when Becky was supposed to hand her belt over to Charlotte, she just threw it down at Charlotte's feet. Then when the segment kind of got back on track, it led to the program of showing that Charlotte's next opponent is going to be Sasha Banks. Because Sasha came out and attacked Charlotte. After all that was over with, Charlotte and Becky gets into a little altercation backstage, which prompted them telling Charlotte to go home, which they said she was escorted by security, but Becky had to stay because she had a dark match after. So apparently, it's true that Becky and Charlotte does have heat for each other. Then, after it was all said and done, Andrade tweeted "F you WWE."
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, well, go ahead. I'm gonna let you speak on that. Then I'm gonna speak on the other part.
No. Go ahead. I'll respond to everything as a whole.
So obviously, Charlotte is the one irritated by all of this because the Monday, if y'all didn't see it, Charlotte fought Bianca for the Raw title, and it was actually a pretty good match. Charlotte campaigned for Bianca to win that match. Charlotte said, "Hey, let Bianca get the title off of me. She's hot right now, and it makes sense since she's going to Raw." But of course, management thought otherwise. So Charlotte was already, I guess, a little agitated of that fact because I guess she didn't want to interact with Becky. But so that's all the facts. You two gentlemen react.
Go ahead, Jaeger.
Oh, I was just gonna say, well, any heat towards Charlotte makes whoever the person opposite her kind of go up in my book. So Becky went up a notch. But
as you say that, I'm on Charlotte's side with this. I'm on Charlotte's side because it's something about Becky as of late.
That's where my butt was in this case.
Oh, okay.
Because that's a perfectly good reason to want to drop the belt, and pretty shitty of management who has done all this for Charlotte, built such a star out of her, who has a really good idea, especially for Bianca to take it and to just get, I don't know, passed on like that. So 1 point went in Becky's negatives, but at the same time, point for Charlotte, who I won't give that to too much. I don't know. It's a little give and take here. Now, I believe somebody else would have a much better analysis of this.
Look, Dizzle, you've been very critical about Charlotte Flair as of late. And I don't know how you feeling about big time Bex right now, but how you feeling about this whole situation?
This is a very funny situation, especially for me to be in regards to how I've been on record to talk about Charlotte. But
you gotta give the devil their due sometimes.
If what the reports are saying are true, and Charlotte has lobbied for Bianca to win that match against her, this may change my outlook on Charlotte drastically, because especially if we go back to our previous video about the whole Becky and Bianca situation, if a lot of this was in WWE's agenda, and you have a situation where Bianca had the title stripped from her, in a trash ass fashion by Becky, and you have Charlotte lobbying to give a push to Bianca. Who's to say that all the heat that Charlotte's been getting is undeserved? Who's to say that Andrade isn't justified in saying some of the stuff that he said that I said was probably bullshit because, he's on Charlotte's side? Who's to say they haven't been dealing with this for the longest, and Andrade's basically just saying, you know what? Fuck them. They've been like this forever. They're making Charlotte look bad. Yeah. If this is the case, then, and I'm not going to say now, but there would have to be some backstepping I would have to do in terms of Charlotte, because of the fact that the stuff that I've said would have been undeserved because I've never said Charlotte was a bad wrestler. She's good in ring.
No,
but it's
we
always
never
been
said she was a bad wrestler. It's just
true.
the decision making has been
Correct.
bad.
Although
And
we've made
because
fun of her Andrade.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And my thing with this is that it's always been the booking. And of course, a lot of that is due to, backstage and management, everything like that. But my gripe was because my assumption was that Charlotte had a lot of pull and she just didn't want to take certain falls or, lose to certain people,
Well,
so on and so forth.
I think they didn't want Becky to lose the belt at Crown Jewel because Becky would have had to lose to Sasha at Crown Jewel via Sasha pinning Becky again or Sasha beating Bianca. Becky would have had to lose at Crown Jewel if Bianca would have beat Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah, well, in terms of this situation, I don't see Charlotte in the wrong. I think everything on Becky's end, especially what's been going on as of late, it hasn't looked good for Becky. And I don't know if that's because of her or if it's because of backstage, but I know that I think the most on her part that was like her decision was to turn heel. I know she actually turned heel. I don't know if she asked for the title or what's going on with that situation, but with everything else, yeah, I think I don't see Charlotte in the wrong in this because, yeah, I just,
yeah.
And maybe it's just a fallout of the whole Nia Jax thing.
It could
because we haven't seen Nia Jax. Wait, has she been on TV? Nia Jax?
Remember, she's technically injured. Remember, Shayna injured Nia.
So maybe that was a way to write her off TV for that shit.
Yeah,
it's a weird irony.
Any final thoughts with this situation, fellas?
Nah, I hope. I don't know what to hope because regardless of this, I'm either gonna have to apologize to Charlotte or I'm gonna be more justified in all the heat that I gave her. So I'm in a double-edged sword situation. So I'm kind of just here in limbo.
Well,
it's weird.
So the weird part about everything is unless they start defending the titles on random SmackDowns or Raws, the titles won't be defended again until the January 1st pay-per-view.
Huh.
Wait, really? Why?
Well, they don't have a December pay-per-view. They're using that January 1st pay-per-view as a December pay-per-view because then, later on, you're going to get Royal Rumble in January.
Right.
So they're not having a TLC this year. So with Survivor Series being champions versus champions, like I said, unless on some random SmackDowns and Raws, then we won't truly get a title defense like that until the January 1st pay-per-view. So
interesting.
That's the other downside to everything.
Yeah, it's true.
So us fellas, we are fans of some good old technical wrestling at times.
Absolutely.
Bret Hart did an interview, and he gave his Mount Rushmore of technical wrestlers. He said Dynamite Kid,
of course,
Kurt Hennig.
Okay, I think that's a bias on his side, though.
Yes. AJ
well, same thing with Dynamite Kid. AJ, okay, wow, huh?
Yeah, CM Punk.
Oh wow.
And Bryan Danielson.
I was about to say, I was like,
we know Bryan Danielson has 4, but he
he
gave 5. He gave 5.
That's fine.
So, pretty solid fucking list.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
Yeah, so
I'm down with that.
Mount Rushmore of technical wrestlers. Before I get to the last story, AEW's technically beat SmackDown with that whole SmackDown being 2.5 hours.
Uh-huh.
Rampage, apparently AEW had the better views.
Yeah, in that 30-minute stint, they had
Yeah.
them in the demographic.
They had them in the demographics, but SmackDown did have the better overall
The
viewership.
total
But
viewership.
apparently the demographics matter more. So that.
Well, that's what the networks care about.
True. Now the final story I have before we roll into AEW weekend.
Wait, quick question. Sorry.
What's up?
What demographic do they put bars and restaurants into?
I don't know.
Because I'll go to like a bar, restaurant, whatever, and they'll have WWE on.
That might be 18 to 49. Yeah, no, that makes sense. 18 to 49. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because that's what I was just thinking about. It was, I know they always have WWE on like venues like that, so I didn't know where you would throw them. But hey, if AEW still beat that out, then dang.
Yeah.
True enough.
Yeah.
All right. So the PWI 150 list, the women's 150 list, the evaluation period was from October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021.
Okay.
And the top 10 came out. So number 10, we got Raquel Gonzalez.
All right.
Number
Hey,
9, Tam Nakano from Stardom. I don't know. I'm not
Okay.
familiar. Number 8, Io Shirai. Number 7, Siri from Stardom. Number 6, we got Sasha Banks. Number 5, we got Thunder Rosa. Number 4, we got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Number 3, we got Deonna Purrazzo. Number 2, we got Utami Hayashishita from Stardom. Once again, not familiar. And number 1, like I mentioned before, we got Bianca Belair at number 1. There's been a lot of people pretty happy with that, with the number 1. There's been some people saying Deonna Purrazzo should be number 1. There's been some people just disagreeing with Bianca being number 1. And if we evaluating the list from October 1st of last year through September 30th, it's kind of hard to argue Bianca's accomplishments within that time frame. You're talking about winning the Rumble, main event in the WrestleMania, you know, being almost like the face of the women's division. It's kind of hard to argue some of those accomplishments.
True, but I know that that a lot of people who would probably think otherwise would almost think that, oh, you know what, it's almost like a consolation prize for her to get number 1 because of how everybody felt about how she was treated at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So it's hard to gauge that because a lot of people could make a huge argument for Deonna Purrazzo and the stuff that she's done in Impact.
Which don't get me wrong, she's been killing it.
Yeah. So yeah. And then of course then you got Britt Baker who, you know, she's Britt Baker, but at the same time, Britt Baker has only done so much in terms of it. You know, if you stack her up against an overall perspective, let's say Bianca and Deonna Purrazzo, Britt Baker would kind of come in at a third to those two, and that's only because what she's done for AEW is solely for AEW and not necessarily like a perspective of overall like professional wrestling for women. Yeah, she's helped the women's division in AEW to the point to where it's been revitalized. So
now I do wish I was more familiar with Utami Hayashishita for her to be number 2, but yeah. So congrats to those ladies, and
most definitely,
we'll see who's gonna be how it's gonna look next year. Now I guess we can go ahead and just roll into it. We can just roll it.
AEW is on fire with their weekly shows right now because I think what they've done so far, because I think they found their groove to where it's like they can effortlessly pull off these shows
Yeah.
without having to force any kind of initiative or anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, storytelling and in ring, especially this weekend on Dynamite, the in ring was from beginning of the show to the end of the show on Dynamite was fucking fantastic. And
Dynamite. When we
Wait,
start to get
Dynamite or
into it,
Rampage?
I'll give my gripes.
okay,
Uh-oh.
well, to quickly run down Rampage.
Yo, let's just talk about the end with Rampage. What the fuck was that? I'm gonna just get right into it. What the fuck was that whole Malachi Black, Andrade pack?
Yeah.
What was that? Why was that a thing?
Well, Andrade did, excuse me for chopping some shit up, but Andrade.
Hey, we know you gotta feed your women, so you good.
Yeah, this isn't a Michael Myers thing at all. Or as was previously mentioned, just a boring ass plumber that likes killing people.
Shout out to
that's
Ninja Banter
for y'all to watch that. Get that jump.
Oh yeah,
Ninja Banter. Check that out.
But I mean, I guess the only thing that made sense out of his appearance was when Andrade foreshadowed that he had friends everywhere.
I forgot he did
all over the world. Yeah. However, Malachi Black did not seem to fit into that category, or at least not initially. But I wasn't necessarily mad at it, but to throw him into this rivalry before his current rivalry run ends is interesting.
Yes, I do agree with that.
But it's the next day, so I mean, it's like, all right, cool, we're gonna just get you started here, and then close you out with Cody tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think there's more to it. I at least I would hope that they're going to add more layers to this story to kind of explain a lot of things,
Hopefully,
which I'm sure they will. But as of right now, and we'll get into it when we talk about the main event of Dynamite, I'm more so intrigued by this because I should honestly be mad about it because of how mismatched it seems. But we'll get into that. And of course we had Orange Cassidy advancing in the tournament, beating Hobbs.
I saw a lot of people was pissed about that.
Honestly, I was a little but it was still a good match.
I was seeing a lot of people was not happy with Orange beating Hobbs. I didn't get a chance to fully see the match. I guess they're saying it didn't look believable or whatever, but a lot of people weren't happy.
Hobbs was dominating him 75% of that match. Easily 75% of that match.
Yeah, I think Hobbs will get his time. But I think this would have been a better showcase for him in this tournament to advance and then go and take on Mox, because of course Mox is advancing. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, I think it's a missed opportunity. But that's more of a bittersweet thing because you could have won with either one of them going over, either Cassidy or Hobbs. So it's fine, but I think they're going to continue on from the situation that happened last week with the whole Wheeler Yuta thing. So, yeah, but I mean, we'll see what happens, and of course, Anna Jay tapped to Lockjaw from Britt Baker in a non-title match. So that was pretty much Rampage in a nutshell. But Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite cracked off in a bang with Bryan Danielson versus Dustin Rhodes, which I didn't expect much from this match going into it. But as I watched this match had me being like, you know what? Dustin could be a credible person, to vie for this championship. Like it changed my mind completely. On Dustin being in the tournament.
Thank you, Logan. It was still one of those. You knew Danielson was going to win, but they didn't give Dustin the fight. Like they did let Dustin give Danielson a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had no gripes about this match.
Not at all.
These two didn't fight in WWE, did they?
That's what I kept asking myself, trying to figure it out. But I think during that time, because I think this is around the time where I think the Shield were still heels and part of the Authority. I think this is around the time where Bray Wyatt was feuding with Daniel Bryan, or around the time where Daniel Bryan joined the Wyatt family briefly.
And Cody
and I think Cody and Dustin, were beefing with the Authority. Yeah.
I think you're right.
In one of the best tag team title matches in Raw.
That nobody talks about, of course, because
nobody fucking talks about.
3 of those people aren't with the company anymore.
Fantastic tag match.
And R.I.P. Dusty. But yeah,
But yeah, this match.
Speaking of, you know what? Speaking of, I was so close to doing Stardust. So letting y'all know. So close.
Hey man, you gotta get the gloves for it too.
That's the only thing I didn't have the glove.
Gotta come out like.
I was gonna take my hand, but I was so
pretty
close.
Sure. Homelander would have appreciated
it. But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed this match, and then too, I was telling Ashley yesterday, I was like, I love Dustin. Dustin has like the Danny Glover Lethal Weapon persona, that whole like I'm too old for this shit, but I'm gonna go out there and show y'all.
Yeah. I love how he got heated throughout the match. And we're just cussing at Danielson. He's like, hit me again, motherfucker. Like, fuck you. That's all the whole it just amped up, throughout the entire match, and then up to the point to where it's like we got Dustin in that guillotine, and then that was it. Which is a good way that actually saves space for Dustin to go out through a guillotine and not just get pinned. So
I can appreciate that too.
Yeah, so I would hope that we get more of this Dustin. I mean, I know it's not going to be match after match as far as like in this frequency, but yeah, I would want him to be showcased more on Dynamite in this type of fashion, and then potentially get a big spot, whether it be a title shot or something. But
yeah,
at least before he rides off into the sunset and retires.
I can see that.
So we'll see. Then we got. I think that happened later on the show. We'll talk about it now. But Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, had a nice little quick interview with Tony Schiavone, talking about Ty Conti and all her assets and how she was going to whoop said assets at Full Gear.
Especially because she likes showing them off.
Yeah, and there's no problem on this end with that.
I mean, what you call them, cheeks for weeks?
Cheeks for weeks. So it's gonna be perfectly fine. I mean, it's not what I would expect for her opponent at Full Gear, but clearly they see a lot in Ty Conti.
I mean, I guess we can early predict it without truly predicting it, do we see a title change here?
No.
Who?
I would be honestly surprised if we did, but I think that is completely being nicely gift wrapped for Thunder Rosa, because I think we're gonna get that trilogy out of these two. So
most likely at Revolution.
Because they got to get through the TBS title tournament.
Okay.
So we'll definitely see what happens there, and of course we got the full on bracket for which let me see if I.
How y'all feel about that bracket and the top 4 women get a first round bye?
I think that's fantastic. Yeah, I think it's fantastic because it at least shows that the bless you that the rankings actually do mean something. And I know. Granted, it is that first round bye.
Yeah,
I'm still okay with it because it at least shows hey, these rankings aren't just meant to just show who's got what number to be up next. It's like, yo, you are the top of this, so you get these certain perks. And I wish that's kind of what they would have done with the men's side for the title eliminator and added more men to it, and then had the guys in the top 5 with the first round buys.
Speaking of that, I know before we get back to it, did you hear? I don't know if you mentioned it. I don't think I remember hearing you mention it on the NXT 2.0 recap. But did you hear that they mentioned that wins and losses matter on NXT 2.0?
Oh yeah,
did they?
Yeah, there was a part in the commentary where I can't remember who was fighting, but they said, yeah, here at NXT 2.0, wins and losses do matter. And I was like, interesting.
huh?
Yeah.
Oh, if that's the case, then how the fuck does all the members in Toxic Attraction have title matches?
Hey.
Because last time I checked, Gigi and JC Jane lost 2 matches in a row. Yet they got a title shot.
Don't put too much thought into it. Just let it be.
I mean, hey, fair enough. Just saying.
But yeah, so
but
I kind of like the idea of the first round bye.
Yeah. Well, and with that, and it's cool because it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like it really affected. Yeah, no, yeah, it did. Yeah, in a way it did, because I mean you don't have like the full 16 person bracket. But it's okay because I guess it's better to showcase a few 4 less women at this point rather than what they have now, because I think this way you have people that you already know, because we have Thunder Rosa, then you have Anna Jay and Jamie Hayter, which I'm pretty sure that match will be coming up. Bunny and Red Velvet, the winner of that will take on Jade Cargill.
You mean Red Velvet will take on Jade Cargill?
Absolutely. And then that's good because that's continuous storytelling, so that's good too. Then you have Nyla Rose, who has that first round bye, who's going to take on the winner of Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida, which
that's the match I don't know who's going to win. Which I'm pretty sure
it's going to be Shida.
Because Shida still hasn't got her fit.
I was willing to call out Deeb, and that way you have Shida take her match at.
I wish, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to continue this whole heel thing, and and Deeb could go over. But I think they're gonna make you kind of forget about Deeb just a little bit, because I think she's gonna be that dark horse within this division that's gonna end up taking that title off of somebody. Whoever wins it, I think Deeb's gonna be the one that takes that title.
Has Shida got her 50th win yet?
No, and this will be it.
No, she hasn't been on Dark.
Yeah, because she didn't get that 50th win off of Deeb. They're gonna make that shit.
She might have been on Dark or Elevation since.
No, she hasn't been on since.
Oh, okay.
Nah, it's definitely gonna be deep. Then you got Chris Statlander with her first round bye taking on now Ruby Soho, since she just beat Penelope Ford, which that technically is the match that had happened. So it's no need to really talk about it.
No.
It was all right. It had a few
Solid
botches.
Yes.
They had the bunny come out and try to interfere.
Yeah, and then of course, we got Red Velvet coming in for the save
Yeah.
because she is going to end up going against the bunny, which Red Velvet will advance from that. So, yeah. I only feel bad because I don't know if Anna Jay is going to beat Jamie Hayter. Because
Yes.
I mean, regardless of the fact, whoever wins that match is going to lose to Thunder Rosa anyway. So,
yeah.
You know what? It would make more sense for Hayter to win, because then it'll add more fuel to the fire of Jamie Hayter being associated with Dr. Baker. So
that's also true.
It'll make more sense that wise to get Hayter to win, but I don't know who might end up taking that one. I think Anna Jay being back now, she might pull off that W.
She could, and I wouldn't be surprised, but I think you might be right in the whole story aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she doesn't really lose anything by losing.
No.
The only thing she really gains is being able to put on a fantastic match with Thunder Rosa that she'll lose in. But yeah, I think that there's more stock in Jamie Hayter taking on Thunder Rosa to kind of add fuel to the flame on the whole Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker thing, because clearly they're gonna have it to where it's gonna be a Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill. I mean, they've been planting the seeds for that since the Casino Battle Royal for the women, when they had Nyla Rose and Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill and that awkward ass backstage shit. But these have been the three that they've been showcasing a lot more. Ruby Soho has pretty much a straight shot to the finals in this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we already know that she's going to be there, which I think it's going to come down to her and Jade Cargill. Now, the winner of that, I don't know. That's the only thing, because they could easily give it to Jade and keep her undefeated. Or
I was about to say, yeah, she would suffer her first loss if she loses to Soho.
But apparently they really want to coin that bitch show. So who knows?
We'll see.
Which is pretty, pretty TBS.
Pretty TBS.
But from there, we got a quick ass match from Bobby Fish and Anthony Green, which Bobby Fish, if you didn't know before, he's officially heel. We had Tony Nese
for sure.
Sitting ringside. So I don't know if they said he's signed by AEW yet.
They kept calling him the highest free agent.
Okay, that is right. You're right. So yeah, so we don't know what's gonna happen with that.
The only issue I had with this fight personally was it took too long for CM Punk to show up.
Yeah, he ran pretty gingerly to the ring.
It kind of felt like Fish was like, all right, when is Punk gonna show up? I'm steady beating on this man. Somebody needs to, I feel like it took a little too long for Punk to show up.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was him at first either.
I didn't either. I didn't know who I thought it was until.
This is why we need to hit music for run-ins. No, I'm kidding.
No. I like Fish as a heel.
Yeah, I mean,
I like him as a solo
Fish
heel.
as a heel.
Right.
Well, this is a better heel Fish. That's such a weird sentence. But yeah, because I like him being solo, and I like him just being antagonistic, especially when it comes to the fans, because he's so snarky. Yes. And I like my heels to be snarky. So CM Punk coming out, setting up this potential feud, I like, because it adds more stock to Bobby Fish, win or lose, which is pretty much going to lose.
Yeah.
So, but it still adds more story and layer to AEW as a whole, because it's showing that, we don't have to worry about having the same guys over and over again, and not everybody has to look the fucking same. So it's just, this is what we have. We have a melting pot of superstars that we can slide in at any point in time because everybody can stand on their own. And I love that. And to that point, when we had MJF come out and talk about Darby, and would Sting come out first?
Yeah,
Sting came out first, and then
he was.
Then MJF interrupted him, and I like that. And I was hoping that they would have kept Darby off of TV for a good period of time, because one, that sells the beatdown from the Pinnacle, because we all know that's who it is.
No.
Even if Scoot's going to deny it.
No face, no case.
But we know it's the fucking Pinnacle. And I like the fact, and we'll talk about everything as a whole, since we already are on this. But I love the fact that MJF came out with both Wardlow and Sean Spears, and instead of it being a full on like just Pinnacle, I like that they're actually building each individual person more and more, instead of having them all just stand together and having one person stand out above the rest.
That's an interesting contrast, comparing it to how we were talking about how we want the oh wow, why am I brain farting on the name? Jericho's crew.
Inner Circle.
Yeah. How we were always like talking about, where the hell is the rest of the Inner Circle? And now we're like, oh yeah, I like the individualism here in the Pinnacle.
Well, yeah. Well, that's only because, like, with Inner Circle, you had a lot of shit that would prompt them to be out there. It's like, we know y'all in the building. Like, why are you letting them get beat down? Because even when we talked about Proud and Powerful, when they were having their shit with FTR, I was like, I like the separation shit, because now we're getting the proper build between Pinnacle and Inner Circle. I like that. And of course, with Sammy having his whole offshoot shit with
Top Team?
No. Prior to that.
Miro?
Sorry, El Fuego. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, Fuego del Sol.
Yeah. With that motherfucker having that whole thing built up, which of course built up to the whole Miro thing. I enjoy that aspect of it, and it's cool. But yeah, with the whole Pinnacle thing, because there was more of a question, like, they've been separated for a while. Are they trying to hide the fact that Pinnacle is just doing their own thing, or is this one of the situations where, because you have the Elite, the Pinnacle's kind of taking a back seat as far as faction wise? And I think that's what's still kind of going on, because we're starting to see this fizzle out of the Elite and more prominence on this slow build back to the Pinnacle. And of course, you have FTR doing their whole thing with the AAA tag titles and the stuff with the Lucha Brothers. So that's cool. So that gives them something to do on that end. And it's not necessarily a complete, like, hey, let's sweep this under the rug until we're ready for it, because that's some shit that WWE would do, i.e. the Hurt Business. But
that's that.
Yeah, with the Pinnacle, you have them all doing their kind of own thing, and you have Sean Spears kind of floating back and forth, where he would help FTR, and now he's back to helping Wardlow and MJF, which of course we're going to see more of that, because even after they beat down Sting, Darby's still gone, which is good. You had the whole little comedic shit with MJF and Wardlow having their beef, or their silent beef, and MJF appointing Sean Spears as Wardlow's accountability buddy. I don't know if they were watching South Park prior to this episode and watching that whole Butters at his straight camp and having an accountability buddy. But that's probably the second time I've heard that phrasing, and the first time was on South Park. So who knows?
You might be right.
But yeah, Then of course we also get a promo from
wait,
FTR.
hold on. Before we move on from this, how do y'all feel about Sting's beatdowns and the fact that some moves he just pop up from and shit, like how he took that chair shot and he popped back up and all that,
Or
like,
took a
how do y'all
table,
feel
or
about
went through a damn table, and then just popped back up.
Like, how do y'all feel about Sting and his whole invulnerability to certain things?
See, you got to understand that he's embodying some of his past. Like he still has that old that prime Sting aura. I'm just you get those situations where it's like, you'll see like for all my Dragon Ball Z fans, you'll see Goku maybe, like if he had Ultra Instinct, he can't control it. It just kind of just pops up. Sting just has situations where
just compare Sting to Goku, we can move on. So,
no, that's what I was saying.
The parallel I would have maybe drawn for more recent anime fans would be like a All Might using that one for all.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Okay,
that's good.
Okay,
yeah.
I could accept that one more.
Yeah, like all Might's gonna be all, or Sting's gonna be all raggedy for like most of the time, but then he uses one for all during the table shots or the chair shots.
See, there you go. There you go.
I like that. Makes sense. Okay. Book it.
Sting's gonna transfer all his emo aura to Darby, so then Darby's gonna then get it.
It's up to you now.
I'm telling you, for a fact, Sting is going to transfer to Darby because at Full Gear, if Darby has his full face painted, transformation complete.
Ooh.
Transformation complete. If like one half of his face may be Sting and the other half.
Ooh, what if they swap paint designs that night?
Transformation complete.
It's possible.
Sting does half face. Yeah.
Sting gonna be like, "Hey Darby, eat my hair, huh?"
I don't want to eat your hair. It's all greasy.
Then we get a promo from FTR regarding the Lucha Brothers, saying, of course, they're the best Lucha Libre team, and how they're honored to have the AAA tag titles, but in order for them to solidify that they're the greatest tag team, they need another set of tag titles, and that's the AEW tag titles. And of course,
I don't like the way they said that because it made it seem like they hadn't had them already.
Yeah,
like it made it sound like FTR hadn't had the FTR. It made it sound like FTR hadn't had the AEW tag titles already. Shit, that was a tongue twister.
Well, I think from their perspective, I think it only solidifies them as being the best if they actually have the titles. Because for them to be the best, they would have something that would actually showcase that they're the best. And I love how they did the parallel between the fact that they lost the titles at Full Gear the previous year, so it would to paraphrase, it would be apropos for them to win those titles back at Full Gear a year later. This is going to be a tough one because they beat Lucha Brothers for the AAA tag titles. I don't see them winning at Full Gear, but at the same time, that would be a nice swerve for you not to expect them to win, just for them to take both sets of tag titles from Lucha Brothers.
Well, we'll have our predictions in a few weeks.
Yeah, this is very true. So we'll see what happens there. From that point, we got Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston.
Ooh, boy.
Man, man.
I'm gonna say this. At first, I wasn't that interested in this fight.
Same.
Because we've had this before, and I initially missed the moonsault. And when I kept seeing Archer on the ground, I was like, replay it. Because Ashley was like, I think he landed on his head. And I was like, what? And when they replayed it, I was like, whoo boy. Lance.
Yeah.
Whoo boy.
Yeah, this match, because I was like, well, I don't see Eddie Kingston moving on. I see Lance Archer moving on to give us that big man, speedy, technical guy match between him and Danielson. And that whole, and it wasn't even the match that that changed my whole perspective of it. It was Lance Archer's entrance, because Eddie Kingston attacked him from behind, and the moment he did that, the whole crowd just fucking, like, if you didn't realize how over Eddie Kingston is, and this crowd was on fire last night, which is fucking crazy, because
and that's what I was saying. Like, I was wondering, was Kingston meant to win from jump, or due to what happened with Lance, they had to go ahead and call an audible?
Well, they definitely called the audible because it was reported that Lance Archer was mad after the match, not necessarily because of the match. He was mad because they told them to go ahead and rush the finish, and he was telling the ref after that spot that he can continue to go on. Okay. But and kudos to AEW management for not allowing that match to continue, because they care more about the health. Yeah,
situation.
So so once they rolled him in, that's when we saw that quick pin from Kingston onto Archer. So yeah, definitely surprised by that fact. But I don't know if Kingston was meant to win.
Archer said he good. He did. I saw a tweet that somebody posted. It's like, he said, I did land on my head. I'm good.
Yeah, I think they said he just under rotated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the shit happens. Happens. So definitely a good match from these two. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less because they have wrestled before a number of times. But there's a part of me that does kind of know where they were going to go with this match as a whole, because Kingston, man, look, when he goes against Bryan Danielson, it is going to be
interesting.
Yeah, because I think we might end up getting Danielson embodying his match that he had with Lesnar at that Survivor Series a couple years back.
That'd be interesting.
And kind of embracing like that little heel side of his. So, man, yeah, they're gonna make Danielson and Mox a match to see, outside of it already being a match to see. But they're gonna end up trying to make it almost akin to a blood feud. If he fucks up Kingston in that match. So,
oh shit, I didn't even think about that. If Danielson fucks up Kingston, then that definitely give Mox the reason to really want to.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of Mox, we got a backstage promo
from Mox. Very interesting.
He said he didn't give a shit about this tournament, anything. The only thing he cared about was his daughter. And he just wants to go ahead and just go run through everybody in this tournament. He don't care about the tournament, don't care about the title. He just want to get this shit over with so he can get back home and get to his daughter. Yeah.
So 100% Mox is not winning.
Oh no, not at all. It'd be funny if he did. He's like, fuck, I gotta keep, because again, see it now more to South Park, because it's almost like that baseball episode where they kept trying to lose because they didn't want to see someone playing baseball.
Nobody on the tournament wants to
win. So 2 South Park references in one episode. How you like that? But yeah, so Mox is halfway fired up, but I think, just like we stated, Danielson fucking up Kingston is going to get him more inspired to say, you know what? All right, fuck all that. I got to fuck you up now. So, yeah. Then from there, we get Jungle Boy and Young Boy Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, this 3-second match.
Yeah, was it even a match? I mean, this pretty much just really set up Jungle Boy calling out the Elite, which we're pretty much going to get another match between him and Adam Cole, baby. So
yeah.
So I guess Full Gear.
Possibly.
Full Gear and Jungle Boy gets his win back. Or something like that.
I can potentially see that.
Because that'll be, if that's the case, so we're looking at Adam Cole's first loss.
Yes.
Which it seems like they're trying to get everybody out the way with undefeated streaks, so they can limit that number down. Because we got about, I think, 5 people that have undefeated streaks right now in AEW. Well, 5 prominent people that have kind of, because I mean some of that kind of changed over the course of the night.
Remind me who else besides Malachi. I mean, let's see here. We got currently Malachi, and then Adam
Malachi,
Cole,
Punk,
Jade Cargill,
Danielson,
Jade
Cargill. Yeah.
Is it Brock Anderson?
No, he's. I think he's got a defeated streak.
I was about to say.
No, Black, Danielson, Punk, Cargill, and
Cole,
and I think Andrade.
Does the draw not kind of affect that undefeated streak?
No. Because they'll have you as 3-0-1, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a big one, but okay.
But yeah, so yeah, he finished off Cutler pretty quick, and then just called out the Elite.
And
snare trapped him until Adam Cole came out.
And he caught that Elite ass whooping too.
as he continues to do.
You know, but the consolation to Jungle Boy catching an Elite ass whooping, he can do some Elite gripping later on.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's gonna get all the best and nurse him back to health.
So there's some upside to him catching an Elite ass whooping.
Yeah, I mean, not that you would want to catch an Elite ass.
Not that you want to catch an Elite ass.
No.
I'd want to be in full tip top shape to grip leather to my best ability.
I mean, I don't know. Yes. You eat off a stage like that, you know.
I'd want all my natural energy.
Exactly. So,
but speaking of natural.
Hey,
we get some natural promo ability from one Miro, who gave us a nice extended promo.
I don't know what it is about these promos as of late, but it's like you can have him on TV all the time at this point.
Yes. And he doesn't have to do shit. He just sits there and talk. It's almost like and that's the thing. He lost the title. He lost that one would expect him not to lose for a long time, and his stock only continues to go up. That's crazy.
I'm gonna say this: may God truly have mercy on the first person he fights on his return match back.
If it's anything, anything longer than a 10-second match, then I would be a little disappointed.
Look,
the only way it might be longer than a 10-second match is because he probably wants to torture whoever he's going against.
Yeah.
But I literally see a Mashka kick, game over, and literally it'll be game over.
Look, he's about to construct a path of bodies as tribute all the way to Lana.
Miro should actually go a step further. With him on this angle, the run of want to get redemption and being mad at his God and, he's not the Redeemer anymore. He should literally rename all of his moves. He should rename the monster kick. He should rename the game over. He should rename his moves to coincide with the way he's feeling right now.
That would actually be pretty dope. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but that would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Make the Machka kick like the Wrath of God or something like that.
Yeah. Like, that would be that would be some amazing shit. But that promo was just fire once again.
So, I mean, It's so many Easter eggs to fucking Lana to where it's like, and Lana tweeted. She tweeted. I think she tweeted 90 days or something. So I think we might get Lana at Full Gear if oh, damn, I don't know though, because that's still kind of soon, unless like they're about to start having Miro just run through people like crazy for like the next month.
I think so.
So I can't wait. I cannot wait. And shout out to them for being able to book Miro in this way without having to have him in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
That was old school NXT booking.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Funny how that shit works. But then we get the best entrance in AEW.
That they fucked it up.
They fucked it all the way up.
They fucked it up. I sat there and watched it. I was like, you shined the light in the wrong spot. No.
Like, I don't know whose fault that is, though. Is that Malachi's fault or is that AEW's fault?
Malachi has never been on that turnbuckle ever. Never. I was like, no, don't fuck up the entrance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say this.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, before I realized that they fucked up the entrance, I was like, ooh, this is like the way the camera angle had it. It was like it showed like him. He is darkness, because all you see is his silhouette. So it was like a nice
spin it.
Yeah. But yeah, very true. Like if you're a fan in the stands and you don't see Malachi on that spotlight, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
shame.
What were you gonna say, Scoot?
I was highly disappointed.
Oh.
Wait, in the entrance?
No,
the match.
The match.
Oh, interesting.
What, you don't like the power of friendship?
Okay, since we're gonna get to it anyway, should be no fucking way Cody should have won this match.
I mean, he was gonna have to win one of these 3 matches.
No, he could have lost all 3 of them, and it would have been A-okay.
That's true.
It could.
I wouldn't have hurt Cody
because they're kind of taking the Jericho MJF route. You lost twice to this man, but then you beat him one time, and it's over.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I still beat you twice, Cody, regardless of not only did I beat you twice, but I beat up your whole fucking faction. So that one win is gonna outshine the fact that I did beat up your whole fucking faction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a double edge on my end, because I feel like Cody shouldn't have won, just to kind of keep Malachi looking strong. But at the same time, if you are going to have somebody go out with their first loss, this is one of the better ways to do it, because they made sure Cody did everything. Huh?
Well, I said even with all the interference and all of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only because like this is a regular match. It wasn't a disqualification match. Because like even with like the table spot and everything within it being a legit match, it's like you really, there's not much more you could do outside of doing more fucking finishers. And for Cody to sit there and do crossroads through a table, crossroads in the ring, and then go through the Tiger Driver. What was it? Was Tiger Driver 98 that he did?
Yeah, 98.
Something like that. Yeah.
But
I love it when Cody went through the table.
Yeah, right. That was hilarious. Like, Cody, you took all that table.
He took all that table spot.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened after that, because it seemed like it was a whole bunch of like camera angles from like them, and then to Arn in the ring for, I don't know why he was in the ring just chilling there, and then you finally got Andrade coming out.
Yeah.
Which this. Go ahead, yeah.
Are Cody and Malachi fans of blading? I mean, I know Cody is, but Jesus, it looks like Malachi is as well. Like, because you definitely see him go under the ring for a second.
He went under the ring to do it, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, Cody clearly is. Cody wants that color, so.
Man, Cody wants that color since freaking, or at least I put those dots together like since All In.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. He's gonna make all his fucking stock footage look good. It's like, you want to chop myself up, make sure I look good in all these, because I want to be bleeding in every single one of them. But this potential partnership. This potential partnership with Andrade and Malachi Black. I had a question mark in my head for a moment, because I was like, well, I don't know how I feel about this. But then I was like, the contrast of it makes so much sense. And that's mainly because, one, you wouldn't expect it.
No.
And that's a good thing. And on top of that, when Malachi Black showed up, I kept boxing him in to one specific like storytelling archetype, where it had to be like some dark and brooding shit.
Why not? And then, of course, why not join up with your wife's former I guess what wrestler, valet, you know? So why not at this point?
I do appreciate the cheekiness of Andrade coming out doing the Arn Anderson gun thing.
Yes.
Oh, shout out to the crowd. When Arn got in the ring, it get the Glock. But why get a Glock when you can get a picture perfect spine buster?
Right.
Oh man, that was beautiful.
It always is.
How Malachi hit him with that miss like right on his forehead though.
Yeah, right. Hey, look, that shit dripped down. That's what happened. Hit his eyebrows and dripped into his eye.
There we
go. But it was still good imagery from Malachi Black when they right when they were about to do the finish. They did that close up of Malachi with the black liquid dripping from his mouth. So it's like, good on them for that. But
Orange should rename his spine buster to the Glock shot or something like that.
Something
like that.
He won't. He won't, but he should. Yeah, but Cody does go over that. For me, this match wasn't bad. I liked it. I liked the back and forth. I like how
it wasn't a bad match. Cody just shouldn't have won.
Scoot hates the finish.
Yeah, Cody shouldn't have won.
And ironically enough, they turned the fans around a little bit for the most part. They turned the fans over. But of course, when that finish happened, it was like you could tell that there was some disconnect with the fans. It was like they wanted to cheer for the match as a whole. It was like that finish. They're like, well, damn, if I boo this, I got to boo the whole match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was more like a boo. Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna stop right now. Thanks, Dynamite, for giving us a good card. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much how it came off. But yeah, AEW goes off the air with Cody standing tall.
We forgot one thing before we finish. We forgot Kenny's promo towards Hangman and Hangman's promo.
Oh, that's right.
Dark Order.
Yeah, Kenny basically said, the fans aren't going to be chanting, or said they shouldn't be chanting cowboy shit, and they need to be chanting coward shit. Mm-hmm. And how, to paraphrase, Kenny basically stated how he looked as a champion when they were tagging together, and how he pretty much had to carry Hangman.
Cosplaying as a cowboy.
Yeah, with his cowboy hat, which he had none, but Kenny kind of rebutted that and said, with his cowboy shirt and his skin tight jeans.
Yeah.
And and he said it's gonna be no different come Full Gear because technically he's going to win.
Oh, he's 100% kicking out that one winged angel.
He's got to.
Yeah. Now with Hangman, I think I may have missed that one because I didn't realize he even had one. Had a
It was
promo.
really Dark Order back there talking, and Hangman walks up on him like, "Hey guys, I heard you challenging the Elite again. Well, you know it's gonna be Halloween, so you know they're gonna dress up, which means y'all gonna have to dress up too." And they was talking about what costumes that they wanted to wear and this, that, and the third. But yeah.
Huh. So there was no disconnect when he went back there. Everybody was just cool with Hangman coming back.
It was he basically kind of said,
No,
you
they
know,
were
I do
upset.
apologize for the way things went and things like that. So, but they were still
pretty much
welcoming
brushed it
Hangman.
off.
Yeah, basically they pretty much brushed it off.
Okay. Huh. Well, I think the question is now, do we get Bray Wyatt anytime soon? Within the next like week or two?
I don't know. Because with them keep saying he might be going to Impact, AEW, so I really don't know.
Interesting.
I mean, you could have Dark Order lose against the Elite and then get beat up on post-match and then have Wyndham show up. If they're going to do it, if they're going to have him come out, they might as well have him come out, middle of a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Well, I know when he shows up, it's going to be in grand fashion. They're going to do some cryptic ass
shit. Definitely.
So they would have had to have already had started. I think if he's going to come, I think we may get some acknowledgement to it. But I don't think we're going to get a full-on debut. We may not even get a full-on debut till Full Gear. I think they may hold that shit off to Full Gear.
Possibility.
But up to that point, we'll probably get some cryptic shit. So
I can see that.
If we're gonna get some cryptic shit, it's got to be within the next couple weeks.
If anything, we could get it on Rampage because I think
we could be. Yeah.
I think his 90 days is done on the 29th, which is Rampage on Friday.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
that'd be pretty cheeky the day that is that his 90 days is done.
Hey.
I mean,
why not?
I mean, look,
but
crazier things happen. Look, Cole took about 5 days after his shit was done and was
right.
Yeah, I finally
already
listened to that Talk is Jericho. I finally listened to that, and oh my god, they had to speed roll his shit.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to what's going to happen in the next couple of TV shows, both Dynamite and Rampage, in the next couple of weeks to see what developments we get leading up to Full Gear. Because I know right now the next 3-4 weeks are going to be fucking crazy to the lead up. So, yeah, I'm anticipating it heavy. And it's crazy how fast this year is going by, because when we were talking about All Out, we were talking about All Out. It felt like it was going to be a while before we even got to like January, and we're literally like around the corner from it. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But you guys have any final thoughts on Rampage or Dynamite as a whole?
Good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit. I'm glad y'all can be back on Wednesdays this week. So
yeah, I'm ready to see what because I think the show that happened last night deserved to be in the middle of the week as on prime television rather than whatever the weekend had to offer. So,
What was the reasoning again for them doing
Hockey.
Saturdays these past couple weeks? Hockey. Okay.
Yeah. Hockey.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
kinda glad
next year I don't
they're
think we'll
going
have
to
that.
CBS.
Yeah, because next year is I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. I think they understand that and are changing it accordingly. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and second Scoot and just say good shit. I loved all the fucking the matches outside of like a few of them, but primarily the first match and the last match on Dynamite.
Mm.
So thank you guys for that, Dynamite AEW.
Yeah, no, I don't really have any complaints this week. Although Cody could, I mean, damn it, Scoot. I was like, yeah, Cody's gonna win. I was going into it like, yeah, Cody's gonna win this, but now it's like, shit, should he have won this?
No, in my opinion, no. Only because, like I said, it's that whole Cody wins this match. Oh yes, I'm redeemed now. Because I think either one of the three commentators had said a third time's a charm. It was like, fam, but you still lost to him twice. Like,
and especially in a company where wins and losses matter.
Exactly. So if you truly feel redeemed that you finally beat Malachi with the help of friends, like Jaeger mentioned earlier, then fine, go ahead.
Yeah, they're going to end up giving us a tag match between Pac and Cody against Andrade, and I mean I don't want that to happen because that's like some WWE booking shit, but that seems to be the necessary progression
Wait,
for
are
this
we
shit.
for sure getting that match?
I don't know. It seems like a necessary progression that they would go with, but yeah. So same here. I would rather them just give us a match between Pac and Malachi.
Yeah.
And Cody and Andrade.
That's fine too. That's fine too.
Ooh. I would actually like to see Cody versus Andrade.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Well, especially because now we got to update the undefeated list as Malachi is officially defeated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which now it's down to 5. So, but we'll see what happens moving forward and see if anybody else loses their undefeated streak in the next couple weeks or month. But Scoot, let these beautiful mother effers know where they can find you.
In the darkness, in the shadows. You can find me in the undead realm. That's what you can find me this week. I'm in the undead realm. So, if you really want to come find me in the undead realm, at ScooterRay, it's been scrolling at the bottom. IG, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. Of course, you can find me with the ninjas. We just did a ninja banter where worlds collided. We had the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas, we had T.A.G, we had Planet Nico, all on one podcast. You know what I'm saying? We had a blast with that. That's on Spotify, Google, Anchor, YouTube. Twitch,
bunch of shenanigans.
all the shenanigans, all of that. That's where you can find me. But since I'm in the undead realm, doing my things, I'm gonna pass it to the man who was deemed as the lady killer on the last Ninja Banter podcast. The lady killer, Mr. Jaeger Bombastic.
Man, if I knew that was gonna be my moniker, I would have dressed up a little more. But maybe done some 50 Shades since some of y'all nasty out there. But no, that ain't nasty. That's actually right up my alley. So hit me up. But let's see. Like as Scoot said, it's been scrolling at the bottom. It's even right here. Just look me up IG, Xbox, PlayStation. Game with me because there's one. If food is not the way to my heart, the gaming is.
There you go, ladies.
But yeah, you can you guys for the ladies that you catch in my DMs, it just breaks your heart, just gets you upset, miserable. Maybe getting some darker thoughts, maybe entering the realm of black. I mean, there's plenty of positivity in the world, and I just know one source that can help you channel it.
I can help you channel it. I can help you.
Yeah.
If you're feeling dark, you can definitely come to the undead realm. I will welcome more hivelings to the group. But if you do want to feel some positivity, I guess, if you want to be happy, if you want to be happy, I guess you can talk to him. You can hit him up.
That's true. You could hit me up if you need that one-on-one. I don't charge by the hour. I don't charge at all. Actually, you need somebody to talk to. Hey, it's all here. But Lifestyle One Up, all your podcast listening platforms. Get your daily dose of positivity. You need to hear some real shit. Listen to Cause for Conversation, because we talk about some real shit. Get to the nitty gritty. It may hurt some feelings, but you'll feel better at the end from the perspective and understanding of what you need to understand. But if you just want to shoot the shit or talk the shit, Lib Deasley, IGs, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all that good shit.
All that.
But of course, most importantly on this end is this tag. So if you made it to this point and you continuously watch our shit, do yourself a favor. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Rate the shit. Hit that notification bell for all notifications.
Thursday. I'm pretty sure Thursday should be a very special episode.
Thursday should be a special episode.
Yeah. It should be a special episode for multitude of reasons, but it's one good reason in particular. Thursday should definitely be a special episode.
Scoot just gave you I don't want to say forewarning. Scoot just gave you an open invitation.
Now, I'm just letting you know too. If you've been paying attention to this episode, I pretty much gave a hint of who I should be dressing up as Thursday. If it all works out, I gave a hint.
Interesting.
I gave
interesting. Well, one would have to look to the stars for that one.
But definitely Thursday would be a very special episode. Besides talking about Halloween Havoc and Dynamite, Thursday will definitely be a special episode.
Fair enough.
Ooh, there you go.
But just like there's your little your preview of what's going to be happening on Thursday. So do yourself a favor and mother effing subscribe. But
click the button.
I give a nice little warmed up too sweet to my bros with this one. Wow. And until you see these handsome faces and hear these immaculate voices, I bid you all a mother effing adieu. And until next time, as always, tag the fucketh out.